guys, welcome to Easy Peasy Gardening. I'm your gardener friend Ruchi, and today we are going to plant some Aeonium Decorum, or it is also called giant-houseleek. This is a beautiful succulent. If you look at it, it almost looks like perfect. It looks like these are plastic flowers, but actually these are real flowers. Florets of the Aeonium Decorum. And if you look at this, it kind of looks like a tree with so many branches and so many florets growing from it. Just like any other succulent, the best way to propagate is through cutting, and then it requires a lot of sunlight, but probably not south sun. I think morning sun or filtered light is good, and then just water it sparingly, and that's about it. And you plant it in a succulent mix basically, so that the soil is well draining, and it doesn't have wet feet. So that's what we are going to do. So we are going to plant an Aeonium cutting. So I have this cutting here, and it has a pup growing from the side. So this is an interesting part of this Aeonium. Just under the floret it grows these pups, and grows kind of slowly, but that's why it is perfect for indoors. So this is the cutting, and here I have that's a succulent potting mix. I'm just going to stick it in. So I cut the stem a couple of days ago and left it out in a shaded area to dry so that the callus forms at the end of the stem. That way, the chances of success are higher and the stem does not rot in the soil. And then plant it just like this. And then water it a little bit. Once the soil settles down, then it won't move. Right now, because the soil is dry, that's why it is moving. And that's about it. And so I have already done this. So this was the planter. I planted 3 cuttings, just like this one. Here I put 1, here I put 3, and this is about 4 or 5 months ago, and this has grown beautifully, and every single one of them have these pups growing. So very soon it will be a tree like structure, and this has been sitting inside. So and it gets a lot of indirect sunlight but no direct sunlight, and it is growing very nicely. It is growing these pups, so perfect for your desk, or for a side table, because it doesn't take that much space and it grows happily and doesn't require too much. So this is about 4 or 5 months old. And then this one, I did the same thing here. Here I had planted this one cutting, and this one is 1 year old, and it looks so beautiful. So this is a perfect plant for a beginner. If you are just starting to get into gardening and you don't know which succulent that you want to grow, or which plant you want to grow, this is the succulent you want to try. Just take a cutting, form the callus at the end of this cutting, plant it in the soil, and then once you have planted it, because it is in chalk, so you must keep it inside in indirect sunlight. Make sure that the soil stays kind of moist, not soggy. And within 10 days after that, you can just can be on regular interval, like after 3-4 days, depending on the weather where you live. Keep watering it and it should be fine. So I had this in 4-5 months, and I got this in 1 year. And it's so beautiful. Everybody who comes to my house loves this plant because it looks like, the whole bouquet of flowers in one pot, and it is growing happily. And if you look at this one, it has all these, I mean, all the dirt is falling off. The way these small pups are growing underneath the big floret, that's how this plant grew. From this middle, on the side, these florets grew and it became like this. Wanted to point out one thing, that if you look at these two planters, they were both inside and they are getting similar amount of light. But if you look at this one, this is slightly yellowish than this one. This looks more healthy, very green. This is good, it is growing, but it has these the leaves are kind of yellow. So this means, what I'm trying to point out is that this plant is under a little bit of stress as compared to this one. So when you are gardening, you have to watch out for these things and see what you can do. So one thing is, they are not exactly at the same location. So one thing could be that maybe this plant is getting more light, or what I feel is that in this small planter there are 3 stems growing. So I have a feeling that it is not getting enough space or enough nutrition. So this needs to be transplanted, and this one has one plant, and in this planter, so it is happy here, but probably this one needs more space. So that's what I am going to do. So basically, you have to look for signs and figure out what is the problem, and then take care of your plants. So I hope this video was useful to you. If you have any questions, leave a comment and I'll try to answer as soon as possible. If you like this video, press the like button or subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you next time. Happy gardening. Bye.